Welcome back to the W18 podcast. This is episode 13 and we finally have Murtaza back.
Is it 13? It's 12.
It's 13.
Oh.
10 was Shivani, 11 was Radhika, 12 was Dhaval, Vishal, Yash, and 13 is you.
Yeah, I forgot how to count there for a bit. Okay.
Welcome back, man. Welcome back.
So wait, over these 2 weeks, something
Yes.
actually really interesting happened. I've been given a lot of time to think, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the episode I left on, we got this, comment that we were talking about something that we didn't really like as guys. We didn't have like the right, knowledge or whatever to talk about.
Right.
And I feel like that person had some basis on why they said it, and I was like, that's fair. So this week we should do a topic that we have a lot of knowledge on, and I feel like in a sense only guys, like men, should be able to talk about. So this week we're gonna talk about abortion. I'm sorry, please don't hate on me. Please don't hate on me. Oh my god. I thought what
I was expecting a better payout from that. I thought you were actually being serious for once.
No. Also, that was a joke. Like before people, like, who do you think already had, like, their Instagram up ready to DM us? You guys can't talk about abortion, no. No, we won't talk about abortion, because, we can't. Relax. It's all good.
Oh
Okay.
man, that's hilarious.
Yeah. Cool. Okay.
Since you're back, we can finally go back to discussing, the main topics of our show, which is pop culture mainly.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you want to start off with something, go ahead.
I do have a topic in mind.
Mm-hmm.
So, every time there's a big role opening, right? Like, if you don't know, Ben Affleck left his Batman role.
Yep.
And every time like that happens, like Superman, it was up for debate recently, and James Bond, was up for debate. Who's going to be the next James Bond, and who's going to be the next Batman? There's always this white versus black debate. Like the news comes out that they're looking at black actors, and their internet loses their goddamn mind. These like people are like, how dare, like, he's a white character. Why are you guys just like putting black people in everything, whatever? And every time I see that, I find it really ridiculous, because I honestly can't imagine someone being that angry about a fictional character. Like, it's a goddamn fictional character. And I sat there and I was reading on it, okay, and I skimmed, like, I went through like these different articles. And there was one, and I found really funny ones, because there was one which was like, let science tell you why Superman should actually be black, and let science tell you why Batman should actually be white. And I'm like, why are you applying science to this god who flies around, and shoots like heat beams from his eyes and bullets bend off him? Like, Jesus Christ, relax. Like, just let him be. And when the Batman debate happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
The argument was like, there's no black Batman.
Black Batman.
There's no black. I need to enunciate more. There is no black Batman.
Yeah.
Right? And there is this variation of the black Batman, which is called Batwig. Wow, that was hard to say. Yeah, but there's no real like Batman. And in Superman, there is one. There is a variation. He's called Calvin Ellis. He's like modeled after Obama. He has his own storyline. He's on like Earth 43, so it's a different alternative timeline. And so people were like, so people were more hot and bothered about the whole Batman thing, because like, to them it's just, like, oh, we're going to make a black Batman when there isn't one. And I
Right.
personally sat there and I was like, I don't really give a shit. Like, just make it like Batman is fictional. He can be whatever he wants. Like, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
there are people who also are attempting like the new Batman story, right? Like they're attempting to make it. There's an idea that it could be a completely original screenplay, which is really difficult. But there've been tons of debates. So I don't see why you can write a completely fictional storyline or completely unique script that doesn't follow the comic books, and
Right.
still have to have a goddamn white Batman.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't understand why the rage is, man. Like, just DC doesn't even have a good film, man. Just like every time, even we've had this, like we've talked about this, and I've said that if I walk into that cinema and I see a good Batman film or a good Superman film or a
Yeah.
good DC film, it's
Yeah.
not going to make zero difference to me what the color of the character is.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just something that it fascinates me how people are so hot and bothered about such a thing.
I guess it's because they, I don't know. Usually that's from, like the comic book elite people,
Yeah.
like the people who've made like comic books their life,
Mm-hmm.
who've been reading every single comic book that's ever come out, um, and like they're just like they go to all the comic cons and all that shit, and it's literally like comic books is their life, and
Mm-hmm.
they're the reason that they live. Um, and if someone messes with their intellectual property and tries to make that intellectual property more accessible, like if someone came up with a black Batman in the comics, like an actual black Batman in the comics, no one would give a shit because it'd be like, oh, that's whatever. But the the reason I think why people would care if it's portrayed in a movie is because then this is being portrayed, like this is being shown to everyone in the world, and there's more people who watch movies than read comics. And if people get the idea that, oh, the black Batman is better than the normal Batman, then that's not right.
But what does that mean? Like, I don't get, like, what do you mean by, like, if the black Batman is better than the white?
Okay, let me rephrase it like this. Like if for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um this if they do have a black Batman and that movie does well, okay? Um then people who aren't versed with like the Batman universe or the DC universe or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
then they will think that Batman is primarily colored, but he's not whereas in the comics he's shown as a white person,
Okay. I have.
which completely messes the whole idea of it coming from being a comic book movie.
Okay, I guess I see your point. I still feel like Batman and Superman are such well-known characters. Like I agree with you that when it becomes a movie, it's more accessible. More people
Yeah.
see it. More people recognize it. But I feel like Batman and Superman are these world-renowned characters. So I don't think. I personally should. I was gonna say from my personal perspective. Jesus, I've also learned that means I'm making a general statement. Jesus, fuck. Uh, what should I say? I don't want to say in my opinion. Fuck. This is a problem with saying things like this.
Mm-hmm.
I just personally don't think it should matter because they're so well renowned. Like, I personally don't think, but I guess you're right as well. Like, there will be some people who are being introduced to it, but I don't see what's so wrong to be introduced to black Batman or black Superman. Like,
I don't know. I don't see the issue either.
yeah,
But you know how people are, like the elite people who
who
think
who
that,
think they're better than everyone.
no, like who think like if you're a comic book nerd, then you think that all comic book property
Yeah,
belongs to you, and like if you don't respect the comic books, then to hell with you.
yeah. Stop defending fictional characters, man. Even the people who created them don't give a shit. why the fuck are you giving a shit? Like, Jesus Christ, just calm the fuck
I mean,
down.
there's obviously like some emotional attachment towards them.
Yeah, and so I was having this really funny discussion with someone in my uni, right?
Hmm.
And we're talking about like how whenever such a role comes up, right, there'll be black and white characters. You know, like is it a black? Is it a white? Who is it? Who's going to play this? There is I don't know if that's politically blah, 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 blah. Jesus Christ. This is why I okay, yeah. So, but there's never any other race, you know? Like
Is there
where
an Asian black
where's
man,
the
Batman?
Asian or where's the brown? Okay, I'm gonna go with brown because for the sake of the story. And
Yeah,
we're talking about how there's never a brown, you know, brown person.
yeah.
And by the way, this is also like it's very lighthearted. Like I'm not making like a statement, you know, where is the brown people? And we came to the conclusion that we don't need it because we have Krish, okay, we have Rawan, okay, we don't need okay characters from white people. No, we have our own superheroes. We don't need white people created superheroes. We have our
I
own.
feel like I
We'll
feel
make
like
our
the
own.
Indian superhero market isn't fully tapped into. You know, we just had like two uh
Really, me okay. Krish one was pretty good. Like
two
actually,
well-known, no, but like we only know two well-known superheroes as of now.
okay.
We don't know any other.
Can I tell you something that people don't realize?
What?
Every action star in an Indian movie is a goddamn superhero. Think about this. Think about this before you just like dismiss it completely. Think about this. Which character in a normal movie could have a power to shoot a wheel and the car completely overturns and he pulls a guy straight out of the car? You know, who has
I
the
know which one you're
yeah,
talking about.
exactly, yeah. Who has like the ability to like insanely jump and just like hit the guy on the head and he like completely does like three somersaults and then he like falls all the way back. Okay? No one. Because all our characters are superheroes in disguise. Change my mind. You
No,
can't.
okay, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
this is why
I kind of
we've
agree.
never felt a lack of superheroes. Because we go into an Indian movie, the main guy is already a hero, man. He's like, he can get
There's
shot.
some fucking.
Yeah.
The only thing that they can't do is fly at this point.
But they don't need to. They're like the Batmans. You know, they don't need to. They just kill like a million people, and then like you know the bad guy comes and they beat the bad guy and then it's over and
Yeah.
done with, and he
Yep.
has like this rocking bod, so he's always shirtless.
Uh,
I have just cracked as to why we don't have brown superheroes in like
because we
in
have we
Marvel.
have brown superheroes
Yeah,
in every single movie.
yeah. You know some CEOs came and they're like maybe we should like look into brown superheroes. You know, like and
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying brown specifically because of it, like Asian. Yeah, obviously we do. You know, we need wider Asian representation in superhero movies.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so they like let's look into some brown superheroes, and they go and they look at one or two movies of us, and they're like they don't need it. That's fine. Let's just go back. Let's just they don't need our movies. They already have their own. You know.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
No, I fully agree.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So yeah, that it's just something I constantly see, and I've never understood like the outrage over it because I consider myself a very big comic book fans. Like I read comic books all the time. And
Yep.
speaking of, if you haven't read the Calvin Ellis and you're really interested in it, you should. And the reason I was very excited about a Black Superman was because they would finally stop doing the goddamn Superman origin story. The same old origin story of him and his parents and Krypton, and they would finally do something different. You know, they would have
Yeah.
Calvin Ellis, and he would like have a completely different origin story. It has like his completely alternate universe.
Basically, like the Into the Spider-Verse movie.
Yeah, and you know, even like Spider Man did the like Homecoming did the good thing where they just didn't have an origin story
Yeah.
because we already know it. And you see, that's what I mean by like people know it so well that do they really need to? Like it's so well known. Spider Man is so well known. Batman is so well known. Superman is so well known that it doesn't seem outrageous to just introduce people to a black Superman or a black Batman.
Yeah.
Stop
No,
crying
that
about
makes
it.
sense.
Yeah, if you have a problem with the things I'm saying, and you feel like that isn't right, then you're racist. Don't message me. You're racist. Go look in the mirror, say to yourself, I'm a racist, and then don't message me. Follow those steps. Yeah. Um, and I think this is also the perfect time to do it because, as we've discussed before, that DC is no longer having a connected universe.
Yeah.
Like the Joker movie is set in an alternate universe where there's no Batman. And they've decided to focus on just making good films, which they seem
Hopefully.
incapable of doing anyway. But don't,
Hopefully good
yeah,
films.
hopefully good films. Yeah, and so yeah, I feel like if you're going to move into a completely alternate universe, this is the perfect time to do it. Because
Yep.
yeah, basically stop getting angry about fictional characters. They can be whatever race, whatever color they want, and stop using science to defend yourself.
Science to defend yourself?
Yeah, because I was telling you about the people who are like scientifically Batman should be white, or like scientifically like.
But that can't, it's not even possible. Like, what scientific proof
I
do they
don't
have?
even
It's
know,
just a
man.
fucking
Like,
comic book.
it's outrageous. They were like talking about like the photons and everything and how they reflect off,
Oh
and
my
it's
god.
just a whole other thing, man. It's just you read it and you're like, why? Just why?
What website was it on?
I don't ever remember.
Okay.
Yeah, if you, I feel like if you search Black Superman, it should come, because I remember it.
Mm.
Yeah, like imagine what I imagine is this person sat down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, what article, what mind, like, world changing, I have impressionable readers, reading my articles. What am I going to sit down and write? And they decided to write that. I'm like, why? You just, why? But
I mean, there's obviously worse articles that are being
no, I
published, but
agree. BuzzFeed, for example.
Yep.
Yeah, so, okay.
Speaking of inclusion, and movies, um, Black Panther was nominated for an Oscar.
Well, we're treading on very, treading on
Thin ice.
Thin ice. It shouldn't be there. It's simple as that. It wasn't even the best comic book film.
But like, how are we treading on thin ice? This should be objectively known that Black Panther was not the best. Was not the best. Was not even the best comic book movie period of last year.
Yeah.
Forget best movie. It wasn't even the best comic book movie.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't. It definitely wasn't. It still also amazes me that it's the first comic book movie to be selected.
Yeah.
But I guess from The Dark Knight, comic book movies have like they've changed how they're being perceived has changed completely. From like them just being comic book movies. Now we're slowly considering them to actually be films. So.
But the thing is, like,
That's the only explanation I have, man. Because like comic book movies were thought of like just comic book movies. They're not real films. Which I don't understand how you can watch The Dark Knight and not think that's a real film. Or watch Logan and think that's not a real film.
Exactly.
Because...
I mean, yeah, sure, the characters are taken from comic books, but they're made into a realized film.
Yeah.
I don't understand. There's obviously better movies that were out last year, and there have been better comic book movies that were out last year. In my opinion, Black Panther was the second worst comic book movie of the year.
Which was the worst comic book movie of the year?
Venom.
That's fair. That's fair, yeah.
Yeah. Like, they were all good, but like when you're ranking them in terms of which one was the worst one and which one was the best one, Black Panther was the second worst one because there weren't even that many released. So like, where do you even place them?
Yeah. I feel like you screwed us in the ass by saying it was the second worst one, because I was gonna say that just because we're saying it doesn't deserve an Oscar, it doesn't mean we're saying.
No, I'm not saying it was a I'm not saying it was a bad film. I'm saying from all the superhero movies that were released or all the comic book movies that were released,
But what you're not
Black
getting,
Panther was the second worst one.
what you're not getting is people don't realize what you're saying. People only hear second worst,
Yeah.
and they automatically assume that you mean bad, and they're gonna get angry about it.
If you get angry about that shit, I don't know, then maybe take an English lesson.
But yeah, if anything, I feel like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse should be
Yeah, like
best
if you
film.
want to be inclusive, then include that movie.
Yeah, like it was miles better than any comic book movie I had seen last year, even better than Infinity War. And whatever, man, like there's like I said about the whole Batman thing, like what's the point of getting mad? So like just move on.
Yeah.
It's a weird, odd decision that nobody understands, but if you we're also gonna sit here and not pretend like the Oscars aren't political, then we're also idiots, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like their decisions are obviously politically driven and everything. And hey, as long as it doesn't win, because if it wins, then
If it wins, that's
it would just be
rigged.
it would be so sad because Green Book, Bohemian Rhapsody, Black KKK Klansman, those were just such amazing films. The Favorite I did not enjoy very much. But
Really, people said that that was probably one of their best movies of the year.
I feel like I didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed the other film. It's still a really good film. But comparatively to how much I enjoyed the other three I just listed, I didn't. Even though it had Emma Stone in it. Yeah. But as I've told you as well, that my new favorite is Mahershala Ali, who
Yeah.
deserves every single award. Just give him the whole Oscars. That's my completely objective, unbiased opinion. Because my god, he's such an amazing actor. Fuck. I saw him in True Detective, which if
Yeah.
you aren't watching, you should. It's a very good show. And I saw him in the Green Book, or Green Book, not the Green Book.
Green.
Yeah, it's called Green Book. But both of them are just he's so outstanding, and I can't believe I never really recognized him as the amazing actor as he is. But again, he doesn't need me to recognize him for him to already know what an incredible actor he is, and for the rest of the
And
world.
if you're like one of like comic book nerd, or like if you don't enjoy those kind of movies, then you can go watch Luke Cage season 1.
Yeah.
He's like the main antagonist in it. He's pretty good. He is actually really good.
He is a really, really good actor.
To me, he carries that whole season.
Yeah. And that's why I think if any my personal favorite for the favorite film category is Green Book, because I would be very disappointed if Black Panther was actually won.
My guess is the favorite will win.
I wouldn't mind that because it's also a really good film, but I just think the Green Book for me, in terms of performance, in terms of storyline, in terms of the message it carried and everything, was just above and beyond. Black KKK Klansman was also fantastic, man.
That movie was so good. I just that ending was so satisfying.
I rewatched that ending at least 6 times because it's brilliant.
I can't believe that guy did it in real life.
It is just brilliant. If you haven't watched it, you're missing out on a really good films, both of them. They're just too good, but trust me, the Black KKK Klansman ending is fantastic. It's phenomenal. It might be the best ending to a movie I've ever seen, man. Even better than Infinity War.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't deserve the Oscar.
Else to talk about?
Did you see Will Smith in the
Aladdin? Yeah, I did.
He looks so garbage. Jesus Christ, that's the worst CGI I've ever seen in my life.
I don't think it's CGI. I think they've actually painted him on.
Then, oh my god, why would you do that? He looks so horrible. I really hope that they saw the backlash and they've just decided to like CGI him if they can.
But like I know it's bad, but I don't know. I can't pinpoint what about it is bad, you know?
I feel like it's this is gonna sound really really bad, but it's just like his face. Like, doesn't his face look disproportionate? Like when you look at it.
Dude, I could not stare at that picture for too long. It gave me, it was creepy, man. I think that was one of the reasons I just couldn't look at that picture for so long. It was just weird.
He looks horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a good look.
I don't know what they did, man.
Also, that blue is so blue.
It's not even blue. It's like purple blue.
Yeah.
The sky was like the genie was like lightish blue. Wasn't he lightish
Yeah,
blue?
he
Am I
was
tripping?
lightish
Or he
blue.
was.
No, he
Yeah, he
was
was,
lightish
right?
blue. Yeah.
The fuck, our school play, not our school play, that play in Nairobi got the color better. Holy shit. Yeah, no, I just saw the picture on the thumbnail on the trailer and I was like, nope. I cannot even click on that. It looks absolutely like it looks scary, man.
Okay, I was never excited for Aladdin. Like, I was never going to watch it.
Yeah.
And when I heard the casting and I was like Will Smith, I was like Will Smith would be a really really good genie because
He would.
he has
Because
that
he has the
personality. Yeah,
charisma.
exactly. And then I saw that and I was like, this is thank fuck, what the hell is going on? I'm like, because you know when he starts talking, right? Like if you see the trailer, and the
Yeah.
trailer shows nothing, literally nothing at all. So if you're afraid of spoilers, there's nothing. It's just,
I mean, if you don't know the Aladdin story by now, then I don't know what the heck you're
yeah,
doing.
it literally shows nothing. It's like a 1 minute trailer. It barely shows anything. You see like small clips, but there's nothing really there.
Yeah.
And he starts talking and you're like, damn, this sounds like the genie, you know, this sounds really good. If you do, yeah, which I'm saying after, even though you haven't watched the trailer, but yeah, he starts speaking and you're like, damn, this sounds like interesting, you know, it sounds
Yeah.
really like the genie. And then you look at him and you're like, I was looking for how to exit that tab because it was so bad. Fuck.
I don't know how they fucked that up, man.
I think they should just use CGI.
Yeah, just use his voice.
Yeah, just use fucking CGI.
Man. You're already using so much CGI for Lion King. Why not just add this shit in?
Oh, apparently Lion
And I'm
King.
pretty sure the entire Aladdin movie, like the set and everything, is just CG as well.
Okay, hold on. Is the genie in Aladdin like Jesus fucking Christ?
What are you typing?
The first question is like the first thing I said is the genie in Aladdin bad? Oh, okay. I don't think they mean like. I think they just mean is he like the
Evil.
and yeah evil guy. CGI. I'm typing is a genie. Fuck. It doesn't say. It just says how everyone is mocking him. Oh, Aladdin's Will Smith confirms Genie will be CGI in majority of the movie. Dude, they fucked up CGI. That is
Okay, then they
CGI.
fucked up
That
the
is
CGI.
that is not even Will Smith. That is just CGI, and they fucked it up.
They didn't even have to make it look like him, man. Just use his voice. Bro, how is that so hard?
I don't know, but who knows?
Pisses me off.
Who knows the decisions the CEOs make in those boardrooms? You know, with their coats and their ties.
And their devil horns.
And their devil horns and their money making schemes. Yeah.
Bro, this is gonna lose them money.
I mean, we really like.
They had to pay Will Smith like a royalty to appear in the movie as Will Smith. If they would have just had a contract for his voice and nothing else, and then they just fully CG the character, nobody would give a fuck, and they would save money. And people wouldn't even give a shit. They're like, oh, it's just fucking some random with a Will Smith voice.
I guarantee you, it's going to make enough money. They're going to absolutely make enough money to be satisfied and say we need to make a sequel.
No,
Not.
you know what they're gonna do? Like this one,
Mhm.
Aladdin and the Dumbo movie, they're gonna crash and burn, and then Lion King is gonna recuperate for the two.
Okay, I think Aladdin will succeed. I'm pretty sure the Dumbo movie's gonna crash. It's gonna crash and burn. And then yeah, Lion King, which apparently is not shot for shot like from the animated. It actually has
Yeah.
like new components in it and stuff.
I mean, it has to for people to go watch it again.
I just thought they were
Some
working off the
people,
whole
some people are
nostalgia
saying
thing.
it's not going to be as good because when you look at um when you look at it from a production standpoint,
Hmm.
the animation is going to be completely different compared to because in CG you have to make it look realistic, whereas in animation you can use whatever art style you want. So um in the opening scene of the thing where when the sun is rising, right? In
Hmm.
the animated movie, the sky was like fully red, um, like there was so much color, right? But then in this one it was very bland because the sky was a bit washed out because it has to look realistic, right? It can't be
Yeah.
fully red, a fully red sky. It's just gonna look like it's hell. So they had to wash out the colors a little bit and all that stuff. Like, yes, the animals look fantastic, but people were saying that the set is gonna falter because it's not gonna be animated, and everything has to look realistic,
Hmm.
and so everything's gonna be washed out and bland. It's not gonna be as colorful as the animated. That's one of the complaints that I heard.
Well, I mean, either way, I'm not really gonna go see it. So,
You
like,
won't?
no,
I mean, yeah, there's really
I'm
no
not.
point.
Yeah,
Like
I'm not
this, I
really
guess
gonna.
this is like for the new generation.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go to cinema to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna. If anything, I will like wait for it. Like, I wouldn't mind waiting a shit ton of time, like 8, 9 months, and then it comes out on Netflix or whatever, and then watching it then. But it's not gonna
I mean,
be.
it's Disney. It's probably gonna come out on their
Oh yeah, that's true. On their streaming platform.
Disney Plus.
Well then, I'm not. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna get Disney Plus because I don't know what they have to offer yet, and Disney has a lot of properties.
Yeah, it
Disney
has to be. It
owns
has to at
so
least
much.
has to be better than the DC Universe app, the DC Universe thing.
Yeah, and yeah, Disney owns so much shit. There, there's no limit to what they can put.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
they own Fox now.
yeah,
They own their own IPs. They own pretty much all of Marvel.
yeah. They own. I was
Uh,
just gonna say that. So all the shows are also gonna be there now.
yeah.
Hopefully, if they continue them.
Hopefully, hopefully Daredevil season 4, please,
Yeah,
please, please. Um, yeah,
yeah. That's.
that's pretty much it, right? From in
Mhm.
terms of like pop culture news.
Yeah, in terms of
I mean, we
movies,
can
and
talk about Grammys, but
I don't care about Grammys. It's
there's
just
nothing of.
yeah, it's just the same. I'm not as invested in the Grammys. I'm not as invested in the Oscars as well. It's just sometimes you like see a nomination, you're like, what? How did that end up there?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, how did Liverpool end up on the top of the Premier League? Ha ha ha
Not
ha.
anymore. Ha 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 ha.
No, soon. Well, we have a game in hand. We will win. That was might be the funniest joke I've said ever on this podcast.
I think I don't know. If you guys don't win, that's a massive choke.
How is it a massive joke? We're only
It's a
3 points
choke, man.
ahead.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you don't win, it's a choke because you at one point you were 7 points ahead.
Yeah, but then we played really hard teams like Leicester and West Ham. Okay, and Man City played easy teams like Chelsea, so they could obviously win 6-0. So it's
Oh.
unfair. It's unfair how they've scheduled the matches and everything. Yeah.
I see.
Okay,
Yeah,
we can move
I
on.
think we can move on to something else now.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't have anything though.
I thought I thought you were going to talk about the thing that you have been bugging me and irritating me about, which is why, and this is going to be a shock to people, but I like pineapple on pizza. This is where everyone cuts off the relationship with me. My mom and dad
Yep.
call me and they're like, "You're not
Yep.
our son anymore. We always liked your sister more." I like how every situation is just ends up with my mom and dad abandoning me.
Yep.
Yeah, it's never like,
Because you are that kind of person.
yeah, it's never, oh, they're probably gonna understand that you're a different individual with different likes and different,
Mm-hmm.
feelings, and you perceive the world in a different way, so you enjoy different things. No, it's just straight up, you're not our son anymore,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not my friend anymore. And yeah, I was gonna say something really vulgar, and then I decided not to, because I'm making progress
You're making.
with the things that I say. I'm being more
Mm-hmm.
careful, because
Mm-hmm.
people really tend to pick up on the things you say and then completely turn it around. they
Now
think
we know why you weren't here for 2 weeks.
no, I was here for like you're allowed to have whatever
Yeah.
opinion you have. Like that's not why I left.
Mm-hmm.
I left because Amay wanted to shoot a show with his friends Daval Yash, and then he's like, "Oh, you can join," and then I said, "Okay, cool, that sounds fun." And then he's like, "Maybe don't you think that would be like a good time for you to take a break as well, though?" Cause like Radhika just texted me and she's like, I want to be on the podcast, but she didn't. Like,
She did.
no, but like she only did it after you said, "Can someone come on the podcast?" In my story, it's just that she messaged you and you're like, Amay's like, "Yeah, I rather have Radhika, and I rather have Laval, Yash," and so it's like, maybe you should take a break, maybe we need people to miss you or whatever,
Yeah.
be like, let people speculate because
You
they'll,
know, you exactly like there's a falling out between
yeah.
us. We hate each other.
And
We
I was
can't
like, "Oh,
stand each
okay,
other.
okay, so, you want me to leave?" And he's like, "Yeah, I want you to leave." And that's why I
I
was gone for 2 weeks, is because of
I
my
kind of want to know. I kind of want to know how many people thought that we had a falling out.
my sister, dude. Is immediately you put up that story. My sister called me and she's like, did you and Amoy fight?" I was like, "No," and she's like, "I know you did, because you love that podcast, you love doing it. So why did you stop? There has to be something." And I was like, "No, we didn't fight." And it was really funny because we were literally playing Division at that time. We were playing a
Yep.
video game, and I was like, "No, I'm literally playing with them." And she's like, "I'm going to get down to the bottom of this. I'm going to message him. I'm going to message everyone." I was like,
She
"I'm
didn't
just."
message me.
I know, because she's a scaredy cat. But yeah,
Um,
I'm back.
I know. I just want to know how many other people thought that.
I'm pretty
Because
sure.
I can just say that yeah, Murtaza's gonna be back. It's just temporary. But then like I just drag it on and on and on and then until one day I just say that you're not coming back on.
Yeah, it's like the Liverpool manager situation, Like, no, like our assistant manager, he just left for personal reasons, and then like 9 months later, they're like, he finally exited his contract and everything, but he just
Holy
never
shit.
came back. Yeah, so that's what happened. You're like, yeah, he's gonna come back,
Mm-hmm.
but eventually, what happens is our show gets more and more views, and people remember me less and less, so you don't even have to explain yourself.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
just,
Exactly. People just think it's normal.
yeah,
People just think it's my podcast,
yeah,
and I have special guests on, and
yeah,
for the first like 9 or 10 episodes, you were this you were the
yeah.
special
I was
guest
a special
because I
guest.
couldn't find anyone. And then once my podcast got traction and people were asking me to be on, I was like, you know what? Fuck this shit.
Fuck
You're
this
out.
shit. Yeah, I need real entertaining people, man. Like,
Yep.
people aren't just gravitating towards you; they just don't like you. And I'm like, oh no, that's fair. I can understand why people don't like me. Uh, Completely fair reaction.
Yeah.
You can continue on with your
One of them
podcast.
being fucking putting pineapple on pizza.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons. Listen, let me tell you why pineapple on pizza works, right?
Because it tastes good, yes. Okay.
No,
We
the
get
reason it tastes good is because the savory flavor of the pizza, right, is like the fruit and the sweetness of it balance it out, like they counterbalance and they make it taste really amazing. However, that's just for certain individuals, and I believe those certain individuals are more advanced than regular people, and that's why we can experience such a good flavor.
Okay.
And the people who
Bullshit.
can't seem to be lagging behind evolutionary and stuff, in evolutionary terms.
Yeah.
So it's just, we're just better, I guess, in a sense that we can experience that flavor and enjoy it and appreciate it. Who knows what other flavors we could appreciate? We could appreciate banana and peas on pizza. Like,
Yuck.
no, seriously, that is
Yuck.
gross.
That is gross.
It's gross. Imagine banana and like the tomato paste and cheese on top of it, and eating it with the dough.
Yuck.
That is pretty gross.
I was just thinking about some other thing that we do with pizza, which is just like, I forgot what it was, but it's completely experimentary and it shouldn't exist. But the thing is, why do we keep experimenting on fucking pizza? Why? Why? There's so many other. We can experiment on fucking French fries. They're the most bland things in the world.
But we
If
do.
you don't put salt.
We make peri peri, we make cheese fries.
But that's like,
we're always
that's
doing
like,
weird
that's
shit
like,
to fries.
But we don't put fucking pineapple on fries. We don't put chocolate
People put
on fries.
put their fries in milkshake and eat it.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty gross.
Exactly. People do all weird shit. People love experimenting with everything. Okay, it's like those American like foods you see coming out where they have like a hot dog with all this weird shit inside it just because you can't put it. So don't come here on your high horse.
Problems,
Yeah,
man.
don't come. Yeah, someone messages you because and the reason I keep saying someone messages on my is because no one messages me. Even if they have a problem with me, they don't message me. They message him.
Because you don't put anything on your Instagram.
Okay, no.
If people knew that you were active on Instagram, then they would message you.
Okay, no, but I feel
but
like
they don't,
certain
because you don't
individuals
post anything.
know I am on Instagram. Know that
Yes.
they have the ability to message me and they still message you. So I'm just gonna
Yes.
take it that any complaint about me is still gonna go to you. But yeah, they message you, and they're like, you know what? Kick Murtaza back out because like he's the scum of the earth. He's why Donald Trump is president, and he's the scum. Like people like him are the reason the world is in the state that it is. And then you're like, Jesus Christ, I'm sorry, he didn't mean about the
Yeah. This is the one. This
Yeah.
is the one. Okay.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Let
People
me
who
finish
don't
my
eat-
goddamn joke.
No, shut the fuck up.
I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm gonna keep saying it over you. So we're gonna have this fight.
No, listen. Another experiment. Well, this is not an experiment, but it kind of bugs me, right? But why don't people eat the crust on the pizza? Why? I know you don't do that as well, cause you're a fucking pussy.
Listen, the dough, or the crust, sorry, is tasteless, man. It's just bread.
Okay.
It's just
okay,
bread.
Fine.
I don't
If
want to
you
eat
have
bread.
an issue with that, right?
I order thin crust and I eat the crust. There we go. Problem sorted. There. Isn't that what you wanted to hear?
That, or just tell him to put the sauce on the fucking end as well.
But then, like,
It's not that hard, is it? It's not that hard.
Okay, listen. How do you pick up a pizza? Okay, let me tell you. No. Let's go through this. How do you pick up a pizza?
What do you mean?
Like when you pick up a pizza, right? Like you pick it up with the crust, right? The end.
Yeah.
Why would I want sauce on the thing with which I'm picking up?
But
in the
if
area
it's
I'm picking
made
it
well,
up.
if the pizza is baked well and the sauce is baked well, right? Your hands will not get dirty at all.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do that, and then I'm just gonna have pizza with fork and knife. Dude, we're gonna get so many hate messages. Everyone has forgotten the whole Black Panther discussion. Everyone is more mad about this. It's okay to eat pizza with fork and knife. I see
No,
people who
it's
do it.
not.
It is perfectly fine. Don't let
No,
anyone tell you different.
no, it's not.
I am going to be on the side of the people who don't do stuff regular way because I'm being shamed for having pineapple on pizza, and I feel like I'm being hated on, and I finally realize why people in this world are fighting for all these things.
Look. There is this there's this pizza place, okay, in here in Philadelphia. It's called Blaze. It's all over the US. It's a franchise. When you get your dough, okay, they ask and you're putting your sauce, right? They ask you, "Hey, do you want it on the crust or not on the crust?"
Mm-hmm.
So,
And then
for me, so I always say I don't want it on the crust, okay, because I don't really care. Um, But if you think the crust is tasteless, then when they're making the pizza, just tell them that put sauce on the motherfucking crust, man.
I just told you why I don't want sauce on the goddamn crust. And I told you if I get sauce on the goddamn crust, I'll just
You
have it with a
look.
fork and knife. Why are
No,
you
no,
getting?
no, no. Okay, if you're that fucking whatever anal about getting your hands messy, right? Why don't you just fold the pizza and then you have to eat it? Then you can hold it from the like the bottom part.
I mean,
That way you don't even have to get your hands dirty.
but I initially okay. Listen, this is how I pick it up with the crust, right? And then
Yeah.
I hold it on the side, and then you eat it like that, right? But I don't want to get my hands
You're
dirty.
saying you eat it like that. I don't.
That is true. I forget that this is a purely this is
Voice
not a
call,
visual.
yes.
Yeah, this is not a visual
Yes.
medium. Yeah, I grab it by like you know how there's a triangle, right? I grab it by the end of the crust and then I bend it so it becomes like it's bent and then you eat it. So I agree with you, but I don't want sauce when I'm initially picking it up. Listen,
Well, you can. Bro.
crust is not meant to be eaten. Just
It
move
is.
on.
What do you mean crust is not meant to be
I don't
eaten,
have
you
an argument. That's
pussy?
what I'm just saying. Listen. Just let people listen. I don't know why you can't just let. This is why there's so many things wrong in the world. Is because we're just so angry about things. Let people live their lives. Stop being
Yep.
angry about things. Yeah, like we don't need to.
And I'm not. It doesn't make sense, right? To me, it doesn't make sense. At least maybe to you, it makes
Listen,
sense.
a lot of
You
things
do
don't.
why you do it for a reason,
The thing is,
but I don't see that reason
a lot
as
of a lot of
valid.
things don't make sense to you. So, like I said, I'm on a higher scale. I've evolved more than you, so
Yeah.
probably
Sure.
you don't understand my reasoning.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little bit more advanced than you, but it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. No. I get that. I get that.
My contribution to this whole podcast is just insulting and complimenting myself because you never did. It's like ha ha ha, everyone hates you, ha ha ha, but you're a genius. That's literally all I do.
Yep.
The more and more I bring the more and more mention it, the more people realize it, and they're like, "Fuck, he's really annoying."
So I kind of had this idea, right, where I kind of want to do something extra for the podcast in terms of like production,
Mhm.
where so in our video component, right, we just have a blank screen
Mhm.
with the logo on it, and it's just there. But I kind of want to make it funny because I want to put this is so stupid. So I kind of want to Photoshop our faces on those stock pictures of two people just doing random things.
Oh, that's actually a pretty good idea. I like that.
Yeah. And then when one of us is talking, like it zooms into the
No, that's just dumb. Like, leave it as it was with the stock photo. That's pretty funny.
not zooms in, but it like cuts to just that person's face, and then when I'm
Okay,
talking,
listen.
it cuts to my person's
I
face.
don't think anyone in the world wants to have our faces zoomed in. Like,
Not zoomed in, not like fully
no, but
zoomed
still,
in.
like, just leave it. Just leave it as the
Okay.
stock photos. Leave
Okay.
it there. That's a pretty good
Okay.
idea. That's pretty funny.
So this week's hopefully, if I get the time to do it.
Oh, so you have an idea, but you aren't going to commit to it.
Well,
Why say the idea then if you're not going to do it? If you have the
okay. See, this is the idea I had. Okay, but I don't know if
This
I
is
would
why I
have the
left.
time
This
to.
is why I left because it's just unprofessional. It's just I told Mike to get me a new podcast,
You mean Mark?
Unfortunately, what's his name? Mark? I feel like it was
Mark.
Mike.
Mark.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. I told Mark to go get me a new podcast, but he
Yeah.
said apparently there's not a really big market for podcasts, and a lot of people don't want
No,
me on
people
it.
don't want shitty
Yeah,
co-hosts for a
people don't want it
podcast.
on it because like I have a bad history, the way I left this one.
Yeah.
So I came back. Thank you for taking me back, by the way.
No, you're welcome.
Yeah, cool. I like that stock for the idea.
Yeah. So this week is going to be this week, because of the pizza thing, we're just going to be two people eat pizza.
I thought yeah.
One person, you're gonna be eating like the half of the pizza with
No,
pineapples
yeah.
on, and I'm gonna be eating half that doesn't have pineapples
I
on.
thought you could get a pizza. I'm pretty sure this exists, like me eating a pizza and like the shocked face, There's like, how that meme, the one with the girlfriend, right? Like he's
The one
looking,
with the what?
the girlfriend meme where he's holding
Oh,
hands
yeah.
and she has that shocked face. I
Yeah.
thought that would be your face while I'm eating pizza. That's what I imagined it would be.
No, so what I need from you is I need a embarrassing old picture. Will you be able to do that?
I don't have a face, so I can't take a picture.
Send me the one with where you have like sunglasses on.
No. There
Come
are a
on.
lot of things.
I
don't
going
want that
to.
on the
Okay, I
internet.
will put an equally embarrassing photo of mine.
Okay, how about you do this? How about you send me a picture of yourself,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
I kind of judge how embarrassing it is, and I'll give
Okay.
you what I deem equivalent to that.
Okay.
Fair enough? Fair enough?
Fine.
How about...
Does it have to be of a specific timeline though?
Are
Like
you...
how long ago should it be?
I
Should
mean,
it be a recent one or a one from the
listen,
past?
both of us don't really have good pictures even now, so it can just be from whenever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, what if I send you a baby pic? Is that okay? Because I look
Yeah.
pretty cute when I was a baby.
Well, no, I don't need that shit. No, I need something that's embarrassing.
Oh, but think about how funny it would be. It would be a baby eating a pizza and you getting shocked at a baby eating a pizza. That would be hilarious. It's like you're getting mad at a baby and the funniest thing, the baby face would be on a grown man eating a pizza. That's fucking hilarious. Let's just do
No,
that.
okay, I have a picture of exactly that same face.
Okay, good.
Of exactly, it's like a disgusted face. Like, what the fuck is this, man?
Okay.
I will send that one. It's not an embarrassing one, but it's like it makes sense.
This is why people don't listen to the whole thing, because the end is just us discussing that tech. What are we gonna do with the podcast, huh? Like,
Yeah,
who's our
I
new
mean,
guest?
look, this is behind the scenes. This is like the first behind the scenes that they've been a part of.
And I don't like it. Let's end it. Fuck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you disclose our secrets to anyone, if I see a podcast next week with this idea on it, probably exists already, then I'm
No, I
gonna
don't think
sue
so.
you. I don't know who I'm gonna sue specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Can I sue the whole audience? How? They're like 100.
We don't even know who watches. I mean,
Fuck.
we know a few people who watch, but we don't know
Okay,
everyone.
so we're just gonna sue the people who we know watch.
What the fuck?
I mean, why not?
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shit happens
So-
in life. So
Yep. So on that note, thank you for listening to this week's podcast. Before we go, do you have anything to say to anyone, or do you have like a shout out? No.
they hate us because they ain't us.
Okay.
That was random. No, cut that out. I could go with something better.
Okay.
Goodbye. No, that wasn't good enough either.
I'm not gonna cut any of this because this shit's too funny.
How to say goodbye?
I want to say goodbye.
Bye bye. No. Oh, bye bye. See you later. I've got to get going.
Okay.
Take it easy. I'm off.
Yep, with that very disappointing goodbye.
Oh, you think you're the Grand Tour now?
I love that. The new season is pretty good.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that next week.
Peace out. I'm out. I got
Yes.
a jet. I got a takeoff. I got the hit. Oh, they're all one thing. I gotta hit the road. That's what it. Other
Okay.
resources to say goodbye in English.
All right.
You should just cut it off at a certain point there.
Are you done?
No, hold on. Let me go to another website. Oh, this
Okay,
is
we're
how
done.
to end relationships.
Thank you. Shh. Thank you for listening to
15
this
ways
week's.
to say goodbye in English. Farewell. See you later, alligator. That's a good one. See you later.
Okay, that's a
alligator.
good one.
I'll
Yeah,
end
okay.
it there.
All right.
You can cut out most of this. So.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to this week's episode. We'll be back next week, same time, same place.
Adios. Ciao. Au revoir. Sayonara.